Hey, I wanted to show people something really quickly here. I think if you're using Excel, you've probably been creating variables and mini programs all along. One of the problems that we have for homework is creating like a payment function for a car or house loan. Many people are familiar with that. Uh, I've done this several times in Excel before I did programming. And if you create an interface here, right, you're saying, hey, I want to put the interest rate in this cell. I want to put the loan amount in this cell, and I want to use the number of months, and I put that in this cell. And then you're using Excel's built-in function, and you're passing it all of these arguments. So all of these arguments or values go into this function, and they return a single result, which is the payment of, for this case, would be a car loan, right? So really what the front end of Excel here is it is a user interface, and it allows you to create this opportunity to capture these data elements or these variables and the value stored within them. Taking it one step further, what it looks like here in, if we're starting to do programming is up here, you can see it's cell references. So what I did here in Excel is I've actually gone in here and I've named the cell. So this cell used to be called D9. I've named it interest rate. I've taken this cell and I've named it loan amount. And this cell here, I've named it months. So now my formula looks more like what we're going to see when we get into Python, is that, okay, the payment outcome is going to be the interest rate divided by 12, using the number of months and the loan amount all into this function, and again, returning the same result. Really what I did is I named these cells. I've created basically a space for this information to go, and I've named it. I've created a variable in Excel that goes to the function. Same as up here. Again, we will have to, if we have to grab information from users or from files, we will create variables, and then you will create data types. So it's important to know that. Here's some of the different data types we have. Boolean, which is true or false, text data, integer data, and floating point data are some of the examples. I think this is important to know because in Python, when you assign this GP here at 52.5, so you're saying 52.5 goes into this variable, it automatically knows that, oh, you're creating something that requires decimals, so I will create this as a floating point. When we get into Java, you actually have to tell it to make it a double type data type. And you can see all the differences here. So it's good to familiarize yourself with that. Again, I think it's called dynamic binding, in the sense of, again, it's recognizing it. Excel does the same exact thing. When you put something in here, it says, oh, I am a number, and I'll make it a number. I'll make it a numeric data type, whatever Excel is storing on the back end. Because if we took here and just put in text, or whatever I was right here, when it tries to pass all these arguments to this function, it's expecting these to all be numeric data types. And when one is not, it does not like it. So again, we're learning how to use data types, get information into the user. When we come and look at the program, when we use our input function, we're reading information in from the user. When we read that information in from the user, it comes back as a string. It comes back as text. We must convert that to the different data types that we need. And in this particular example, you're seeing that we converted to a float, again, with decimal points. And this one is whole numbers. We converted to an integer type data type. Keynote down here is that this right here is what the payment function does in Excel. So you'd say to yourself, right, why did they create a payment function in Excel when you could do it this way? Well, there's a lot of math here that gets very ugly to the users, right? So instead of doing this every time you have a payment type, what we'll eventually learn to do is we'll create a function and we'll pass these three arguments to that function and return a single result. And it'll be much cleaner, so that every time if we ever need to update the payment calculation, we only have to change it in one spot, the function. But again, just trying to get you familiar with the concept of You've probably already done this in your personal life, creating uh, creating variables, and they're automatically assigned a data type in Excel. And again, here when we do this for programs, it's helping the program store memory on the computer so that it can accept and then re-access these data types as we need those in the program.